And now, Working Man Radio with your host, Joe Lyles.
They're called wedge issues. Wedge issues. And you know what they are. The United States Supreme Court has made rulings in 2 wedge issues over the last 10 days. Made a ruling in the affirmative action case. They kicked it back to the lower courts to decide whether or not to make some factual findings. They did not strike down affirmative action as no longer being viable. Didn't do that. They could have, but they didn't. Stare decisis and all that. Are you a white working man? Are you opposed to affirmative action? There is an argument to be made from the progressive point of view, which I will make now, that affirmative action should be based on income. It should be based on socioeconomic position. It should be based on that basically working people and poor people whose children show academic promise, that they're the ones who should occasionally get some consideration. That we should make an effort to reach into the lower orders and find promising, talented people there and give them a boost. And it doesn't matter what color you are. That we should have affirmative action for hillbillies in West Virginia who are underperforming, who have a history of underachievement, but occasionally they don't. Occasionally, there are promising hillbillies, and I can assure you that there are people from West Virginia who occasionally go to Harvard. Probably a fair number. In fact, I actually know of one in particular. So affirmative action for people on the bottom of society is, I think, a good idea. Should it be based on race? Why? Why not base it on economics? I mean, the president himself has suggested that his daughters probably don't need an affirmative action boost to get into a decent school. And they probably don't. Now, there is a suggestion that, the children of wealthy, well-to-do African Americans, and there are a growing number of those, they don't need the boost anymore, if they ever did. But there are some white working class people who could use it. And if we were giving those white working people that kind of a boost, there might be a little bit less resentment over this whole thing. I mean, if you're a hillbilly in West Virginia and you are living in an impoverished state that has, where the company Stowe used to operate, right? And you feel like that society has, that liberalism, progressive economic policies have nothing for you. And that's what we have. So I support modifying affirmative action to take it away from race and ethnicity and base it on economic status. And let's get some affirmative action for working class white kids. And I know some. I know some who need it. And that's a fact. Will that happen? Well, probably not, for a number of reasons on both sides of the aisle. That's not going to happen on both sides of the aisle. The Republicans don't want to take away racial resentment. The Republicans want to talk about racial resentment, but they don't want to get rid of it. You need to understand that. Are you a working class white dude? Listen to me. The Republicans will take your vote, but they will never fix the problem, because the minute they fix the problem, you no longer have a motivation to vote. And they want you to show up and vote. You're being used. You're never going to get what you want. They're going to dangle the carrot in front of you and keep you going to the polls to vote for them so that they can undercut your economic position. And you'll let them undercut your economic position because you'll buy into all of that conservative hogwash ideology, because the conservative hogwash ideology feeds into your desire to that your belief that you're in competition with the black folks, and they wouldn't be able to compete with you on a level playing field because, you know, white people are just better or something. I don't know. That's why they buy into that. That's why they buy into libertarianism. People who are people who work, people who need the government to help them level the playing field with corporations. If you're a white working man and you resent black people, are you a white working man who resents black people? I'm talking to you. I want to talk to you. Let's talk about it. You resent black people? Fine, I don't care. I'm not going to fix you. I'm not going to tell you to stop resenting black people. Keep resenting them if it makes you feel better. Whatever floats your boat, buddy. But let me ask you this. Do you really want to be a lick spittle for corporations because you resent black people? You really want to give corporations everything they want because you resent black people? You really think that you, as a white person, can sit down across the table from a fellow who represents 1 million investors? It's just you. I'd go work for Walmart. There are white folks working for Walmart. What are they paying white folks that work for Walmart? $8 an hour? The Walton sisters are billionaires. They make millions of dollars a year running their Walmart. But we just can't afford to pay our help more than $8 an hour. When you, the white person who resents black people, I resent them. They're taking stuff, and they're getting stuff I'm not getting. Okay, whatever. Maybe they are. What if you believe that? Can you sit down at the bargaining table with the manager at Walmart and say, you know what, $8 an hour is just not going to get it. I'd love to come work for you, but how about $15 an hour? Can we haggle a little bit? Can we negotiate a little bit? No. Walmart tells you, take it or leave it. You say, you could just go get another job. According to conservatives, the iron laws of economics set the wage scale. We're just paying what the prevailing wage scale is. We're paying you as much as we can, which means that the iron laws of economics mean that there is no other job with better pay. You think you can negotiate, navigate that system where rich people have all the power and you have none, and you want to vote to perpetuate that because of resentment of somebody who has less than you do? Really? That's what you want to do? Will you wake up? And meanwhile, they're not fixing it. Affirmative action is going to stay with us. The conservatives on the U.S. Supreme Court, including John Roberts, was appointed by Bush. He's a member of the Federalist Society. They are big critics of affirmative action. He did not end it because he wants to keep it around. He wants to keep motivating you. He wants to dangle the carrot, but they're not going to give it to you. And let me tell you something, John Roberts knows what he's doing. John Roberts is political. He understands the politics. If you're watching me now, John Roberts, go out and make a statement to the press that you just don't understand politics. You don't know what a wedge issue is. Go out and do that. He won't do it. He knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what the game is. They know exactly what the game is. They're not going to fix affirmative action, and they're not going to fix abortion. Abortion rights are going to continue, and they're not going to fix gay marriage. They're not going to decisively eliminate these wedge issues. They're not going to do it. We'll be back.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. You've been listening to Working Man Radio with Joe Lyle at joelylesradio.com.